didn't even make my. Oh, hold on, Mel. Hold on.
Oh, it's too late. We live. Welcome back to Men Now Sports and Sports T, man. Our post game that we seem to abandon after the second round of the playoffs, but we're back.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sports Tea and Man Down. So happy to be here. I mean, I know that we've taken quite some time off.
While y'all in here, man, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button.
Were you
If
having Mel, did you
huh?
have some did you have any power outages in SoCal? My power was out 3 times this week.
No, not recently. No, no power outages. No, not at all. 3 times is crazy though.
I know, I know.
But yeah, let me know when you're ready, man. I go ahead and shoot the breeze a little bit till you get that situated. But just to start everything off, man, looks like we got a game 7. My predictions were wrong, so my 100% prediction rate is over. I predicted every game. I don't know if Dominique was paying attention, but I predicted every single game correctly up until this one. Right, so OKC ruined my perfect I don't know, I guess my perfect predictions is done. So hopefully I'm not wrong about who I think is going to win the finals. I think OKC is still the better team. As far as what I saw tonight, like looking at the score sheet and all that stuff, the game was over after the second quarter, so it was like or like halfway through the second quarter. So trying to look at those score sheets don't do it any justice. But I will point this out. At some point, OKC has got to treat TJ McConnell like a real basketball player. Like at some point, you have to guard him like you're guarding everybody else. Like he's getting into like what they're doing with TJ McConnell is saying we're not like whatever game plan we got for Halliburton coming off a screen or Siakam driving to the lane or anything like that. Like they're hedging, they're switching and doubling, and they're putting a lot of pressure on it. They don't have any of those concepts for TJ McConnell. They're saying, well, he's such a non-factor. We're just going to let him get into the lane, and if we don't double, he don't get to activate his best asset, which is playmaking and passing. So we're just not going to double. Whoever's guarding him, just let him get in the paint. Just put a hand in his face and he'll miss, and he's not missing, right? And then when you're playing a person like that soft, he's getting away with I'm getting in the paint and you don't even expect this, but I'm about to spin and get a layup. They act like they're shocked every time he shoots the ball.
I
Every
thought
single
that
time.
was ridiculous. Honestly, to see, and it's happened 2 games in a row. And what I loved about this game is that Carlisle just decided to play them together. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do with Halliburton and McConnell on the floor? Who are you going to guard? You're still not going to guard TJ, and then you're going to decide to be like confused by this. And they looked very confused by both of them on the floor at the same time. I mean, what did you think about that decision, Mel?
Well, to continue to play TJ and play him with Halliburton.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, where you got to? I mean, listen. If you tell me that I have a player on my bench that is when he gets on the floor, he has a free invitation to the paint. Yeah, I'm gonna put that player in. He's got a free invitation to the paint, and being the smallest guy on the court, he's never got to guard the post. He's never got to guard the post. Like imagine if Muggsy Bogues was on that team, and you got a 6'6" point guard that never punishes him and put him in the post.
I love
That's
it.
not supposed to happen.
I so you predicted them to close out in game 6, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most people that have OKC winning really believed it was going to go a 7-game series. So,
No.
you know, I predicted that the Pacers would win, but it was a joke. Remember, I was saying in the group chat, I'm just like, hey, guys, Pacers and Indiana Fever are going to win. You see
Yeah,
Caitlin
yeah, but I
Clark.
mean, but that was
I'm
up in
just
the
saying
series
that
though.
I get it. It's just that's the story, though, that it seems like the NBA wants to write. You see, it's just all this whole perfect story. They're the underdog. Literally, you have Caitlin Clark and Halliburton. They're hanging out. You see her, on the sidelines watching intently, and it just looks like that is this story for this season. And
Mm.
I I think that OKC is a better team. They should have won this series handedly. In my opinion, this should have been a sweep. I don't think that this should have gone. I don't think the Pacers should have been able to grab a game from them. OKC is playing like a team that's never been to the finals, and they are playing like a team that is scrambling right now. Like they're shaky and scared of this moment. I don't like the way that they came out on the road. I thought it was just a disgusting showing on their half.
Yeah, it was disgusting. I don't know if they scared and shaking though. I mean,
They
that's
didn't
hard to
look
say.
good.
I mean,
When I heard defense in that first quarter, the way
they didn't even play no defense though.
I, I'm talking about the crowd screaming that for the Pacers. I
Yeah,
just felt like they literally missed every single defensive assignment you could
it
imagine.
was bad.
I mean, the way they got beat in the paint, I don't know if you saw how many points in the paint they scored, but it was just everybody beat them. And I thought to myself,
Yeah,
and, I watched the game late, so I'm just thinking like, who beat them? At the end of the game when I hadn't seen it, I was just like, who actually beat the Pacers? Was it Halliburton? Did he cook them this time? And I mean, it just felt like every single person got what they wanted. It
yeah.
was
It was the same. Like in all of their other wins, it was. I mean, minus the game one that OKC gave up, but the other two wins that they got in Indiana, it was pretty much the same thing. It was just like they made shots. Their defense was turned up a little bit. They were allowed to play a little bit more physical. They turned OKC over, and that was pretty much it. OKC didn't match their energy, especially not on defense. They were sloppy on offense, and they played a lot of one-on-one ball. Once the bench got in, the ball started moving a little bit. But I think one of the worst things that happened for OKC was Jalen Williams getting that 40-point game because it's hard to turn that switch off when you score a lot of points um, and ISO and getting to the rack and beating your man off the dribble. You score a lot of points that way. Like they won that game 5 in OKC with a lot of tough made shot. They made a lot of tough shots. Like Jalen Williams made a lot of tough shots, and it was all I'm beating my man off the dribble. I'm getting to the paint. Blah blah. All this. They didn't run a whole lot of offense, and when your shots are falling, and you're able to say, okay, we need a bucket right now, and you can just give it to Jalen Williams and get a bucket, or give it to SGA and get a bucket. They forgot about how to work for each other and get buckets for each other and play, and nobody else was really involved. It was just SGA and Jalen Williams trying to go one on one, and they dug themselves in the hole and they couldn't get out of it, and they played zero defense, man. So shout
yeah,
out to Indiana for getting that win and forcing the game 7.
yeah. That I mean, and that's what makes me feel like okay, it's not just the story that the NBA wants to tell. I mean, OKC lost this game. Like we can't blame it on anybody. They just played really poorly. They were coached poorly. I didn't see anything that looked good from top to bottom. So you have,
Mm-hmm.
their cute coach on the sidelines. I didn't see him doing anything. I felt like he literally did nothing.
Yeah, Obi Toppin was cooking. Some people in the comment section talking about Obi Toppin. Yeah, he was cooking. The threes was falling. His pull up jump shots was falling. I mean, he's put in a lot of work. I think I seen his trainer on a podcast or whoever he's training with, one of his trainers, and he was talking about how much work they've been putting in the last couple of summers. And I like to see that. I got a friend I played ball with in high school named Daniel Towns, and he was a guard, and he trains still to this day Al Horford. I think he met Al Horford in Atlanta when he played for the Hawks, and he's been training him ever since then. And when I see the videos, it's all guard work. And Al Horford was ahead of his time because he was doing really good playing as a post player and rebounding and a defensive player with the Hawks. He made all stars like that. I don't know what made him start saying, help me move my game to the 3-point line, help me get my handles right, and help me be able to defend in space on the perimeter, all positions. And that's what Daniel been working with him on. And to see how good his jump shot is, you can't leave that dude open, right? And for an athlete this young like Obi Toppin, who could have made a career off of screen and roll and dunks, for him to change his game this early to a perimeter game, is impressive, man. It's impressive, and it just goes to show he's sitting at the end of the New York Knicks bench, and Tom Thibodeau did not want to give him real minutes. Then Hartenstein, I mean, he got a lot of good minutes for New York. He defended Embiid very well in the playoffs, but y'all didn't even want to resign him in New York. Like to let a player like Obi Toppin and Hartenstein go is insane. Y'all shouldn't have to make that trade for Randall for Towns if y'all kept both of them. But I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
I couldn't agree more. I actually really loved Obi Toppin on the Knicks. So I used to always feel that he was underutilized. Thibodeau didn't want to give him any meaningful minutes. He would just come in the game, do a couple flashy dunks, and we never really saw the potential that he had. I felt like he was aggressive. He was real. I really liked Obi Toppin. I always did. He participated in the dunk contest. I really like his style, his aggression. He's got pretty good handles. He can shoot the ball, and he's improved his shooting. So he wasn't known for his shooting when he was with the Knicks or even when he first got to the Pacers, and he's improved, I think, since being traded there. And I'm really proud of the growth that he's had. When you talk about Hartenstein, I think that he plays better with Oklahoma City Thunder. You definitely have to pair him with another big. He shouldn't necessarily be um, the you need to have a twin tower situation with him. I think he would have worked really well with Karl Anthony Towns had the Knicks kept him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what I do think is that the Knicks, they were able to in their mind they were making room and they were making space to make some big deals. I think that was the idea behind getting rid of Hartenstein. So
Yeah.
you always know what you're going to be able to do. So the idea was that they weren't, and it wasn't that they just, I don't think that we wanted to get rid of him. So I don't think the Knicks really wanted to get rid of Hartenstein. It's just he was
Yeah.
really, I think he's a starter now. We didn't
Yeah,
want
I think y'all wanted to keep him, but y'all didn't want to keep him bad enough to pay him what OKC paid him.
Correct. We didn't want to give him the role that, we didn't want to invest in him as a starter. And I
Hmm.
think that was really the situation with the Knicks.
Yeah. Uh, let's talk about them turnovers. 21 turnovers for OKC, 8 from your point guard, the MVP, SGA. Careless turnovers. Just careless, man. It's almost like all of them dudes took some type of pill to just have no energy. I'm like, man, what do y'all do y'all really not want to win in Indiana? Where y'all really think y'all could just sleepwalk through a game and you're just going to win at home? Like, do you know anything can happen? Somebody can twist their ankle first
So you
quarter.
don't think that this was a choke? You think that this was you know,
No,
they,
it's a choke. It's a
they
it's a choke, but it's them making the same mistakes that they've made before and not taking Indiana serious. Like there's no way you're supposed to come into this game with that lack of energy, knowing it's a closeout game, knowing it's a game that a good team that got their backs against the ball. Like almost like they expected Indiana to come out here and just give them the game. You know what I mean? You're not taking them serious enough if you didn't have the appropriate amount of fear.
I
You get
that
what I'm
was
saying?
the energy that I felt from the coach. That was the energy that I felt from the team, is that they expected Indiana to lay down because they went up in the series,
Mm.
and I just felt like that was silly of them to do. And again, energy was low. I agree with you 1,000,000% about that. I just look at this as, wow, they really choked away game 6. When you play so poorly and so opposite of like what you normally do, I don't think it's just a loss for me. That's why I said nerves and not really ready for this moment. A team that looks like they've never been to the finals before, a team that just looks kind of like, okay, well, we know we need to win this. 8 turnovers. SGA doesn't turn the ball over. He's not a
He
high.
does. He does. He.
He's
I
not
mean,
a high
he's
volume.
not. He's not Halliburton. Halliburton is really good with not turning over. So it's more shocking that Halliburton would have 6 or 8 turnovers
But
than
it's
than
not
SGA.
shocking that he would have him in the big moments, though. Halliburton oftentimes has played like shit, and he will play like I expect Halliburton to disappoint me before I expect SGA. So whether it's turnovers, whether he has a 0 point game, like SGA is not going to deliver us a 0 point game. Like I just can't even put them. And I get you're talking about taking care of the ball. It's just that I feel like, it's almost like Tyrese Halliburton has less of a job than
Mm.
SGA. So
Somebody in the comment section said stop defending SGA. Who on the panel is defending SGA?
so I'm actually not about to defend him. I'm actually about to
No,
torch him. So just so you
I'm trying
know,
to figure out. I'm trying to figure out who he talking about. Like which one of us is defending him?
I'm actually about to torch him. Did you see him travel in the second quarter
I
with
seen
about
him
like
travel a
nine
whole bunch
minutes?
of times.
I mean,
I seen him travel in several of these games.
he just let him. Did you see him literally pick up his dribble?
I didn't
Stop.
see that one. I didn't see that one.
It was just like such a blatant travel. I just could not believe that. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what kind of game is this? But
Oh
I guess it
yeah,
didn't matter because they still got blown the hell out.
yeah. They got whooped. They got whooped.
Tra-
Uh,
Sheesh.
Spirit. What's the name? Hazard Black Spirit. How long? What did I say to defend SGA? I said he played like crap. He came with no energy. I said he had 8 turnovers. That was horrible. What did I say to defend him?
Maybe I'm defending him because I was
No.
saying.
He said it's me. He said Mel Now Sports is. Man Now Sports is defend. I'm trying to figure out how.
Mm.
I don't know. I well, just type in the chat what you want me to say. I'll read it. I mean, I just don't understand what he wants. I don't understand what that I really don't think they've met. They obviously don't know me. Like if they think that I have a problem with using perfect basketball as a standard and measuring any player against that standard. Obviously, he didn't have a good game. Obviously, he played like he didn't want it, and all of that good stuff. And obviously, the 8 turnovers are problematic, and it's not something that's becoming of the leader of your team, especially your point guard and the MVP player. That's
This
pretty
sounds.
horrible.
This comment sounds like SGA hate. Like, what is this stemming from? Is this stemming from the fact that SGA is MVP and folks felt like it should have been Jokic? Like, what is the defense of SGA? Like
I don't know.
I think he's averaged over 30 points in the season per game. I mean, not in the season. I mean,
In this series,
in this
yeah,
series
32.
final. So averaging over 32 points per game. I mean, what? Like,
Oh, this is what it is right here.
okay.
Cause I said he was the face of the league and the MVP, and now that he's lost a game 6 and didn't play well, I guess he wants to hear me. Like, what do you want to hear? You have to fill that blank in for me. I don't know what you want to hear, but so that's what it's stemming from. I've spoken well about SGA, and he wants to hear me speak like the sky's falling, it's doom and gloom about him. I'm not an up and down person like that. Because what's gonna happen when they come out in game 7 if they win and he plays well?
I
I gotta
mean,
change I gotta change my mind again.
but I have a question though. Does Shea Gilgeous-Alexander even have a signature shoe? Does he have a shoe?
Yeah, he just re-signed with Converse, and it made Shaq very sad because Shaq wanted them with Reebok so bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the face of the league when you're not a Nike athlete. And that's just really the bottom line.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that.
Steph Curry would have been the face of the league handedly if he was not with Under Armour. If Nike had Steph Curry, maybe Steph Curry might not have even been a bigger player. Like who would they would have had to choose?
Nike
Like
got a lot of they got a
Nike
lot of say
have
so in a lot of things, man, for sure.
who would Nike
Nike,
have chosen? If Steph went to Nike, who would they have rolled with?
LeBron.
Because of the lifetime deal?
I don't know. It's just I
What's
mean,
the reason behind it? Is it because they invested so
because
much in the line,
they had already did that, and
go
you can't
down
unscramble
the line?
scrambled eggs. Yeah, yeah, they already did it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Nike, they got their hands in a lot of what's going on now, and now Vegas and gambling and draft picks, and I mean not draft picks, but prize picks, and all these people. Now they got their hands in the pot too. So, man, this whole thing is a little weird now. Um, what's the move for OKC at home, knowing TJ McConnell got all types of confidence. Um, how would you defend him once he gets on the floor, man? Because I mean, he makes a shot and it does a lot for the confidence of the team, man. They just love seeing him score. Like, so are you gonna have to rough? They're not even roughing him up. Like, you know how like both teams are able to play physical off the dribble. Siakam try to get downhill. They're pushing. They got Dort on them and Caruso, and they real physical. They don't even do that to TJ. Like, if he wants to get to that spot right there, he can get there. I'm like, man, it's weird. I'm like, man, oh, they go guard him. This is 2 games in a row. They have to and maybe if they feel like if they guard him, it'll be worse. Maybe if they guard him like they guard everybody else, people are just going to be running around getting open, and he's going to be finding them. I don't know. I don't know what the conversation is in that film study, but it's got to be some type of conversation tomorrow.
I mean, he's the real X factor. That's just the bottom line. TJ McConnell is the real X factor on, OKC. And I think that, that's just what it is. And they have no answer for him right now because, okay, like, what are they going to do besides get physical with them?
They just got to defend him. I mean, you can tell he's not even in the game plan.
They've done nothing.
It's impossible for every player on the floor to have assertive effort and it looked like some type of plan for when they get the ball, except TJ. Like, you can tell that he's not even. They're like, man, there's no way he can beat us. Like, they still don't believe that he can beat them, and they still don't believe Indiana can beat them. And that can get them in trouble, man. You got to have the appropriate amount of fear for your opponent, no matter who it is.
Yep.
And like TJ did last game, he said they got to guard me. They still didn't even guard him that game when he was hot.
Can you believe, though? What kind of NBA are we in? Seriously, this is crazy.
What?
He's saying
that he's getting loose? I mean, that happens, though.
Not getting loose. I mean, he's literally screaming at them, guard me. You better guard me. He's telling them this on the court. When are you going to guard me? You got to guard me.
Well, I mean, it's a lot of guys that are small who can't shoot the three too well, who you just don't worry about. Like, I talked about a series I seen Phil Jackson do that to Muggsy Bogues, where their game plan was we're just going to force Muggsy to shoot threes. So they played somewhat of a zone. Everyone else was being guarded. Luke Longley assignment was Muggsy, but he didn't guard him. He just stood at the free throw line like a zone. But he wasn't in the key, so they couldn't get him for that. But he was right there at the free throw line, and his assignment was Muggsy. Muggsy would come bring the ball up at the top of the key because that's how they ran their offense. And the wide open three was for him right there. And without Muggsy getting downhill and getting in the paint and making some type of pass, they offense really was the only thing they had was going to the post to the zone. Right. But that's what it was. Luke Longley at the free throw line, and they were saying you're gonna have to shoot 5 to 6 threes a quarter because that's what we're giving Muggsy. And it got to the point where they had to take Muggsy out. And then on the other end, Ron Harper was posting them up. Michael Jordan was posting them up. There's nobody he could guard on defense. They made him pay. So, I mean, what it is they just don't respect his 3-point shot. And they're saying, man, I mean, you get down here in the paint, we just go contest the shot. You can't get that off. And he's hitting it. And that's what it is. So, I mean, they're going to have to just change their game plan.
But how many times in a row are you going to get cooked by the same person?
Well, I mean, they won by double digits last game. So in their head, there was like, he can't hurt us. Even him getting off and getting his 10 points last game, it was a nice little run.
And that's what I thought, too, when I watched that game, when he was like, you got to guard me. They're just like, no, we don't. We're not going to waste our energy guarding you because he's very zippy. So I think that they think he's a calorie burn. So what you said is like, would it be worse if they guard him? I think yes, from a calorie burn perspective, because he runs around a lot and he doesn't shoot a lot of threes. He gets into the paint. So I just wonder, like, will they tire out and get gassed trying to guard a guy like him running around? He's very quick. Halliburton's very quick. Naismith, Nembhard, very quick guys. Pascal, he, to me, is super aggressive. He kind of just runs over defenders. So they're going to get tired guarding the Pacers in Game 7 if they don't make some sort of an adjustment.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have to guard TJ. I mean, but I expect, it was a home game for Indiana, so you got to expect that. And we talked before the game. What did I tell you? I said that OKC was going to have to walk them down, but if they don't have the energy to do it, it's going to be a game seven. I said that first and second quarter was going to be all everything momentum going toward Indiana. The whistle, the crowd, the energy, what they're allowed to do on defense, all of that was going toward Indiana, and it was up to OKC to decide whether we're going to match or exceed their energy to overcome this game six. And it seemed like they was like, we got one more game, we'll be all right. You know what I mean? And they might be, but they might not be. But I do expect the same. Well, actually, I don't, because it is a game seven. I don't expect them to call anything in the game seven. So nobody's going to get favor. So that home court advantage that OKC got from a crowd standpoint, they will have that type of advantage. But from the whistle standpoint, they're not calling anything.
Really?
No, they're not going to call anything. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. So somebody think your name is Mill. Because last I checked, I ain't had no jacket on. Oh man, what else you want to say before we get to the phone lines, man?
I'll take it.
What's your prediction for Game Seven?
My prediction for Game 7 is that the Pacers are going to win,
Okay, and why you say that?
because I think that Carlisle is a better coach than the Thunder's coach, and I think that that's what it's going to boil down to, and I think that the NBA is going to get involved in Game 7, and I think that OKC had no business letting it go to a Game 7. That's what I
I
really
think
believe.
the NBA already been involved though.
You're asking me my prediction, and my prediction is the Pacers are going to win because there is too much against Oklahoma City Thunder. The media is against them. Nobody wants them to win at this point. The world, everybody is rooting for Halliburton. NBA wants this for them, and I think that they are going to get involved in Game 7 more than you think. So you think that they're not going to call anything? They're not going to get, we're going to just see the better team win. That's your prediction, essentially. And I'm just saying that, I do think that we're going to see a lot of questionable calls in Game 7, whether it's to get to a fantastic finish and OKC maybe squeaks out this win. But I think that they're going to help the Pacers in Game 7 as much as possible. OKC, they should win the series. I'm just predicting that Pacers are going to win because they're going to get helped. So if OKC
Yeah.
it's got to be a blowout, Mel. They got themselves into a Game 7. They didn't win Game 1. They had to fight against what what they're up against, right? So they're fighting against the NBA. That's what we talked about, right? Earlier today. We talked about they're battling not just the Pacers, they're good coaching. Their coach is just better. Pacers coach is better. And so they're battling coaching. They're battling the Pacers and their will to win and their determination and their resiliency. They're battling against all of that. And they have depth on their team too. Any guy can cook them at will or get hot from behind the arc, and it could easily be a blowout in the opposite direction. So OKC has to beat them and has to have a lead very early and keep that lead throughout the game. And if they don't, they're in a lot of danger because NBA is definitely going to help the Pacers. If the NBA helps anybody in Game 7, it will be the Pacers, not OKC. The last time a player won MVP in the season, Finals MVP, or even won it, when was the last time a player won MVP and won the title? So this hasn't happened
in the same season.
It hasn't happened in a long time.
Probably Kobe. Kobe definitely. Maybe LeBron in Miami because he got a couple in Miami, right? A couple of MVPs in Miami. I think they did win one year that he got MVP. So maybe LeBron, maybe Kobe. Other than that,
if
Steph did Steph win it that year? He got MVP, yeah, because he got two straight.
Wasn't with the year that he was unanimous, didn't they lose? Was that 2015 or 2016?
Yeah, he won it. He won it one year and lost when they won 73 games, but he won it the year before that when they won. So I think maybe Steph. So
Okay.
Steph might have been the
11,
last one.
11 seasons ago.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Shea,
But Kobe, I want to say Kobe got it that year they beat Boston in 7. That was his MVP.
that's a big deal. So if SGA is able to accomplish this, this is a big deal. And I just think that I just feel that the NBA gods, they are trying to work against him, and it's not even the NBA gods. It's not even the
I
real
don't think so.
basketball. It's just it's a media machine. The
I
media machine is
I,
working against
I
Shea.
think all the work that if the NBA was getting involved in anything, it was just them getting involved in what type of game they called, and they just changed the way they called games based on who was at home. And I if they favor Indiana in this home game in OKC, I'll be shocked. I don't predict that it happen. Um, but like I said, it's hard to pick a win out of this game, man, because OKC's not even supposed to be in this situation. They were supposed to come out here with
Right.
all the urgency that they had in their fiber and make sure they won this game in 6, like the way Michael Jordan would have done it. But it's been games that went 7 games from greats. Kobe went 7 games with Boston. It is what it is. We'll see what happened. Either way, it's gonna be some entertainment. We'll see what happens. I doubt they'll let us watch a blowout game 7. I don't think OKC would do Indiana what they did to Denver and come out here and blow them out in the game 7. But this is playing out exactly the way the Denver series played out.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I'm sorry, Mel. Did you hear Tyrese Halliburton's post game?
I heard his post game. Now I heard something in it. I'm gonna see if you caught it. What did you hear?
Of course I caught it. I caught it right away, and that's why I think that they're going to win. And
What did he say?
that's why I mentioned CC0 sitting on the sidelines. He referred to TJ McConnell as the great white hope. Okay? He said that
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the great white hope.
He's been saying that for a while. That's not what I caught though.
What I'm saying is that I um I just don't think that this is I just think that he's appealing to um the media, and I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if Pacers win game 7. What did you notice that he said?
Um, they asked him, well, what did they get their motivation for this game? And it was like, we just didn't want them to celebrate on our home court. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's like
I didn't like that answer.
I think they know what's coming. These players understand. Oh man, we got the whistle tonight. We don't got the whistle tonight. These players understand that. I mean, we heard Iguodala and Evan Turner on the podcast say closeout game is the hardest game to win because they're trying to get to a extra game and all of this good stuff. We heard them say that. And they talk about how that whistle will change. We can't ignore the fact that that's happening. We can't ignore the fact that the games that Indiana won, except game 1, they had the whistle. We can't ignore that, right? So it all depends on, do you think they're going to get the whistle in game 7? Or do you think they're going to say, all right, nobody's getting the whistle, best team win? And if that's the case, I think the best team is OKC.
I agree with you. I think that they should be winning the series. I just think, I don't know, man. I think the NBA is going to help them. The
They could.
Pacers.
They could. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong about game 6 for sure.
Now, OKC could still very well win the game with the NBA's help, with the NBA helping Indiana, but it has to be a blowout.
True. They can't miss. It had to be what they did at Denver. But can they do that? Man, what I said in that Denver series is, this first round, because they had a game when they was down 20 to Memphis in the first round. They came back and won that one and
Yep.
swept them. Like, that took a lot of guts for them to be like, all right, we up 2-0, but do we really want to drop this game? No, we don't want to drop it. We're going to come back and win. That was a test. That was adversity. Then in the second round against Denver, you facing this team, you lose game 1, you dig yourself out of that hole. Then you got an opportunity to close out at game 6. You don't do it. And I was like, dang, that was a huge opportunity for them to grow. Like losing that game one, I expect that from a young team. This is your first year actually making a championship run. You lose game one to a really good team that has already won before against one of the best players in the league. Okay, got it. But can you learn from this? And my thing is that was their learning curve in round two. It seemed like those lessons helped them against the Minnesota series. And what I would have liked to have seen is them come and not make those same mistakes that they did against the Denver Nuggets in the finals against Indiana. And they made exactly all the same mistakes. Dropped game one, had the opportunity to close it out at game six, didn't do it, didn't bring it, and now you're going to a game seven. So that's what I don't like about it. You're leaving it up to one game when you didn't have to. You just didn't have to.
Yeah. I mean, can they persevere? Like, can they triumph over this again? Are they gonna,
Yeah,
is lightning gonna strike twice?
we'll see. We'll see, man. Let's open the phone lines up though.
Let's do it.
Let's get these ladies and gents in here. Phone lines are open. Phone number is on the bottom of the screen scrolling. I remind everybody that's watching from Sports T and is watching on Man Down Sports Channel to hit the like button ASAP. Have to hit the like button. The quickest way for us to end the show is for us not to have the appropriate amount of likes because that'll really make Dom sad. Caller from Los Angeles, what's up? What's up, Troy? Yeah.
Mel, the caller's not coming through.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You can't hit it. You can't hit a caller.
No.
Hold on, Troy.
The call is like coming through a different way. It's not coming through the roadcaster.
Well, that means my roadcast not hooked up then.
You want me to put mine? Want me to
Yeah,
put my
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey,
well,
Troy, we're gonna put another number up because for some reason they can't hear you. Hold on. Okay. All right. I put another number up. Okay. Uh, so can y'all hear me good? Am I coming in through my computer or my mic?
I can hear you. The caller just wasn't coming through.
I wonder am I coming in through my mic though? Shoot, that sucks. Cause that's the only reason why they wouldn't have been coming in. That sucks. Let me check. Let me switch the number. I'm gonna put Dom's number up, y'all. Oh, I ain't got your number. Oh, there you go, right here. That's yours, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Numbers on the phone on the screen, y'all.
Calling, guys. Talk to us nice. Hi, Troy. Thanks for calling Sports T and Man Down Sports. Talk to us nice.
Hey, how y'all doing? Yeah, technical difficulties. To the people who couldn't hear me, don't play with me. Like the stream, all right? Hit the like.
Thank you so much, Troy.
People who couldn't hear me, don't play with me. Like. Yeah, I was talking to Mel after game one. He was predicting everything. I was telling him, he had his crystal ball out this whole series. So I told him I think I was taking Indian 7, and we're gonna get our game 7. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think that the NBA definitely is getting what it wants. It's got people watching. We're excited to talk about it. They're getting their full final series, and I do agree. I mean, with what you guys are saying, that OKC better blow them out if they want to win Game 7. But I don't think it's because the NBA will be on the take necessarily. I mean, I think they got what they wanted. They got their full 7-game series. Everyone's chatting about it. Despite it being Indy and OKC. Not getting their big name teams in there, but I don't know. I think that I told Mel after game one, the reason I picked the Pacers is I just feel like they got that thing that those teams that seem to not know when they're supposed to lose a series or when they're supposed to lose a game. That's how they took games from New York. That's how they took games in this series. And like, does Obi Toppin know he's not supposed to score 20 points in a game 6? Like, he's not supposed to be hitting middies off the dribble, but he was. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to really be interesting. Are you going with the Thunder now?
No, I'm going with the Pacers. So when I see something like this happen and a potential upset, I'm rolling with the underdog. To me, Pacers are the underdog. They beat my Knicks, and I believe that the team that beat the Knicks is going to win the title. And I just think the story is too incredible. So you take a look at what they've been able to do this season. They were not pegged to win, right? You also have Halliburton very, very close with Caitlin Clark. It just seems like what a great story to have, the Pacers in the finals, they win a title, and the Indiana Fever then makes, their own sort of historic run, to the title as well in the WNBA. So I think that could be just like, and yeah, I'm with you. I have the Pacers winning it all in 7.
Test.
Oh, I can hear you, Mel. There he is.
I think I'm good now.
Yeah, Mel.
I hear you loud and clear, man.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, I think that it was interesting, just from a gameplay standpoint. I don't know what got into the Thunder. You see them on some nights. We talk about Halliburton being a game on, game off player, but it feels like OKC is almost a game on, game off team in these playoffs. Like, where was the pressure? I mean, in Game 5, it was like they were making them play from the top of the logo. They were making them start their offense at the half court mark, just playing. It was crazy defense. And then tonight, I see guys who went off. Jalen was playing bad. My boy Alex Caruso was playing bad. Like, there was no intensity. There was no defensive pressure. And maybe that's because Indy came out and hit him early. Indy hit him real early. But it was just like, I felt like I was watching a totally different team tonight.
That's what everybody felt like. I mean, and we can't even. I mean, there's no real answer on to why they came with half their energy on defense. I get being out of sync offensively. I mean, because shot making is shot making, right? Especially when the other team is bringing it defensively. So I get that. You're entitled to be off offensively, but to hit a gear defensively all season and in the playoffs, that's probably the highest that we've seen this season. But, the range from that also goes down to, they played defense like a non-playoff team tonight. You know what I mean? Like that range is never supposed to happen. You're never supposed to have a range of the best defense to one of the worst in the playoffs. Like, and that's what they was in some of these losses, man. Like dang, how you don't have the energy? I don't get that, man. So they setting themselves up for failure, and they making it harder on themselves if they want to complete the task. And they in danger. I mean, it's up to one game now, so they in danger, man. So we'll see how they respond.
You feeling confident still, Mel? You think it's still going to be OKC? You sticking with it? I mean, I don't think you're going to.
I'm less confident with one game than I would be if it was a full series. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I do, because we talked in game one.
You can't have confidence. You can't have confidence in something that you don't have control over. Right. So I never be completely confident in the team.
Yeah, in game one, I was telling you, I was like, I just feel like in a game 7, I worry for any team playing Indy, because these guys seem to not realize the moment, which is kind of a benefit in game 7. Knowing the moment too much in a game 7 can shake you, especially on the road. These guys just like play out of their minds. Like, I actually believed you when you were saying, I think it was after maybe game 3, I heard you talking to a caller. You're like, they better start exploiting TJ McConnell. If he's going to be on the court, you better make them pay for putting him on the court. And they haven't. He's been winning. They haven't. He's been winning the exchanges with every player, which is which is wild. And you know,
it's crazy. It don't matter who they put on.
he's just even if he's that guy at the court at pickup, right? Where like he's following every shot, and you're like, man, did this guy get tired? Can he chill out? We're just like playing some basketball.
Exactly. Yeah.
He doesn't give up. He doesn't give up on any possession.
And I feel like the team just like builds off that. And then I mean, it was crazy. I will say it is going to be a toss up. I got my Scott Foster jersey ready for Game 7. I'm going to have my black and the white on. You know,
have they announced who's calling the game yet?
I think I saw something that, and I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I saw that Scott Foster's reffing the game in Game 7. And you know what? I picked Indy because mainly at the beginning of the series, I told you this also, I picked them because they have Carlisle, and I just believe that Carlisle will be in. If the teams were going to a Game 7, I believe it'll come down to coaching, and Carlisle's been in big spots. And you know, when they got raked over the coals by the refs, and I want to say it was Game 4, maybe it was Game 5. I think it was Game 4. Carlisle came out and he sang the praises of Scott Foster as a ref. That's some Phil Jackson, like Zen master level post game. Like, no, we're not going to complain about Scott Foster because he's going to be here again. We're just going to keep
experience. That's an experienced coach right there. Absolutely, that's an experienced coach. But you're making a mistake though, Troy.
Articles, the media, the articles are there. I'm with you, Troy. You and I are aligned. I'm aligned with your take.
But Troy, you making a mistake. You came to a conclusion on what you think should happen, just basically fully on basketball, and that's not the only factor that's at play.
Well, I already told you at the beginning. I'm making all my calls because I took my glasses off and I'm just watching the team that looks most like the Lakers. You know, they're in those gold jerseys, so I'm just rolling. I'm rolling with it. I'm living vicariously through the Pacers right now. I got no feeling wrapped up in this. I'm just rolling with it. You know what I mean?
You're talking to a Laker fan?
Oh yeah, I'm a lifelong born raised Laker fan, Kobe stan.
Okay.
And see, she was with me. She ain't with me no more. I lost her.
No, I am. Like when you say that you're a lifelong Laker fan, I can roll with that. When you say that
I'm a LeBron hater and a Laker fan. I want him gone. That's
2 thumbs up from me. We're still aligned.
Well, look, I'll let y'all go on to the next caller, but hey, I'm excited, Mel. We'll see. We got our Game 7, baby. That's what I'm happy about. And
y'all got y'all Game 7. I didn't want to see no Game 7. Listen. I was ready for this thing to be over with tonight, man. Look, I couldn't come live right after it. I was watching WNBA. You know, man, I'm ready for WNBA to be here. I'm ready for NFL. I'm ready for the NBA draft. Like, I'm ready for 2025, 2026 season already, man.
I'm ready for the
Game 7 is not what I wanted. Huh?
I'm ready for the off season. My team's got new money, baby. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
We got a man at the helm again. I'm ready to go.
Them ticket prices about to go sky high.
They're already sky high, man. I pay for the.
Well, they going higher, man. Dude just spent He just spent $8 billion on that team. You think them tickets
you know
about
what?
to go up?
I will say this. I luck out. My uncle plays bass in the Lakers band. So if you've ever watched the streams of the Laker games, the band at halftime that they show on those streams, that's my uncle playing the bass. So I go up there. I get the games for free there, and I got clients that I've trained their dogs, Dodger fans and Laker fans, that have nice seats. So when they're out of town, they hook me up with a ticket. So I don't pay for games. You know, I go only when it's free, and I watch them online.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So otherwise, I would be complaining about it. I'm just, I'm ready. But yeah, it's going to be a good off season. It's going to be a good Game 7. I'm glad you came live because there was a part of me I was like, is Mel not going to go live because he didn't get his Game 6 victory? But I knew I know you don't do that. You don't run.
Come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with this. Y'all gotta stop with this, man. Dude, they've lost 3 games already in this series. And they lost 3 games in the Denver series. I've been lying live after every loss, man. If y'all don't stop thinking I'm some type of OKC fan because I say something good about SGA, y'all are tripping, man. Y'all sure you've been around this channel way too long to think that.
I know. Hey, I will co-sign you. I'll say this. I like your take, Mel, because you don't come from a fan perspective. You come from an analyst perspective. I wear my Lakers thing out on my sleeve, but the moment the game's over, I'm out. I'm not really I don't drive from a fan. I'm just I root for the team. When the game's over, I roll with it. I don't have any problems with it. I'm not emotionally invested in sports. They don't pay me to be emotionally invested. You know what I mean? That's the team's job. But I like your analysis because you look at it from a very strict, like, removed place. So that's why you're able to predict things. So I'm not going to sit here and glaze Mel, though. I'll let you guys get on to the next caller. And
all right, Troy, appreciate it.
Indy in 7, baby. We'll see if I get my prediction right.
Thanks, Troy, for calling.
Look at this level 2. I ain't even gonna say level 2, probably a level 3 gaslighter on the screen, the Universe Galaxy, this channel. He has a channel where he tries to get Michael Jordan fans to come debate him on his channel. And he's in the comment section just trying to gaslight people, and hopefully he can start some type of fire or some type of debate where he can invite you to a debate on his channel. Well, no, thank you, Universe Galaxy. You can either leave or I can block you. Either or.
Yikes. Well, thanks for calling Sports Tea and Man Down Sports. Who do we have on the line? Talk to us nice.
Hi. Good evening, it's Sabrina.
How's it going,
Sabrina? How y'all doing?
Oh my gosh, we're good.
I happen to agree with you on the situation. If they don't blow them out, I believe the league is going to have the referees call a game against OKC.
I've just seen it too many times. I mean, we've both just seen it too many times, Mel. I mean, you've
what was FCA doing tonight?
Nothing.
Exactly.
He was with the Pacers. He was with the Pacers. That's what he was doing.
I've never seen him play this poorly. He didn't move from the outside perimeter unless he was trying to split the defense and turn the ball over. He passed the ball and just stand there.
I'm sorry, man. This dude is funny. Hey, so look, this dude also, I don't know if he's on the spectrum, right? So I say that, and that's nothing. I mean, I got family members on the spectrum as well, but come on, dog. I'm not going to come debate you, man. Please stop, man. Just because you insult me doesn't mean I'm going to come and debate you, man. Just stop, dog. Why do you keep coming to this channel? Go away, man. Go away, man.
Or your young disciple, or both of them.
No, man. This dude is on the screen, man. Come on, man. He'll email you. He gonna email you next, Dom. If you say anything good about Michael Jordan, he's gonna insult you until you come and debate him. And it doesn't work, dude. I'm not like a 19-year-old dude. Like, you insult me is not gonna make me come and debate you, dog.
Mel,
why would I debate you that the sky's blue?
He emailed me.
He emailed you already too?
When I first started my channel. Yeah, many months ago. Yes, Sabrina, talk to us nice.
I got my wish. Somebody finally bought the Lakers. What is LeBron gonna do now? I got my wish. I was wishing that for 2 years.
He's gonna do the same thing. It might even be worse.
I don't know. His son is not gonna be playing this year. His plans is spoiled. He should have retired while he had a chance.
I don't know. If it's all about the money, they got to make that $10 billion back somehow.
Oh, at the expense of the Lakers being a circus again this year? I don't think.
I hope not. I hope not. But we don't know. I don't know too much about, the new owner and what their goals are. So that's something that I need to take a little bit of a, research with, and just see, like, what is their love for the Lakers, and, what do I think that their real plan is with the team? The fact that there's no family ownership, or I'm sorry, so she sold her majority stake. I'm sure she'll still be involved in the team, but you just wonder how much, is this going to be ran like a business? Is this going to be ran like a business with integrity? Is it going to be ran like a circus that also is a business?
Dominique, you mentioned that she's still going to be making decisions for the team. She is still going to be the governor and make those decisions. Here's the difference. And I heard, I can't remember if it was Ramona Shelbourne or it was one of those known names.
I'm gonna hang up so somebody else can get through.
All righty.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Sabrina.
All right.
Okay.
But when you remember when Mark Cuban sold Dallas, he was still on making basketball operation decisions, right? The same thing is going on with Jenny. Here's the difference, right? Supposedly, Mark Cuban didn't get that in writing. So he was still making decisions for like the first year, the second year. But then when his Luka trade went down, he had no clue about it, right? And he didn't have it in writing that he was still making those decisions. Jenny Buss does have it in writing, right? So and that was as per, I think, Ramona Shelburne. I can't remember if that was the one who reported that, but
so then
she said it on someone's podcast today.
Then she will have to make business decisions, right? She's not, I don't think she's going to, because now she's up against, these people need to make their money back. You know what I mean? And to me, winning equals money, but I don't know. She might present something to who knows? Who knows? I mean, they're making money. Obviously, they're a money maker. So yeah, I mean, I'm curious, and there hasn't really been public financials for the Lakers that have been, that are out there right now. I think their last one was like 2022. So it makes sense that they have surprisingly sold the team because they didn't release anything for a while. You know what I mean?
I'm shocked. So, I'm shocked a little. I'm shocked that the most historic two franchises, which are Boston and LA, both sold. But then the GOAT sold his shares in the Hornets, and Mark Cuban did the same. So it's something that the owners know that they don't like for the future of the NBA, as far as how much. It's
not something.
Yeah, it could be how much these players are going to be earning.
So no, it's not even that. It's not that at all. What it is that they're not going to fully own their team. The NBA will have full control of all of the teams, and they're going into a revenue sharing program. So they do not like that. Would you want to share the fact that, like, for instance, New York, they make a lot of money win or lose. So now they have to share that money with the rest of the NBA. So basically the NBA is making it that there is going to be no small market team per se. And there's always going to be small markets no matter how they try to slice this. But basically, the NBA is also taken $8 billion from teams. And so James Dolan has written a public letter about this, and has been basically he might actually try to sue the NBA. I don't know if that benefits him to do that, but that is why owners are selling, is because they're not going to be able to be in control of their teams. So
hold on. So that's the first I heard that, but they've already been revenue sharing though.
So what it does though with revenue sharing, so when have they started the revenue sharing, Mel?
Sure, it's been a while. They split the revenue at the end of the season. Whatever is being made, it gets split amongst the owners, and then so it's been like that for a while.
It hasn't been that long, and it has been something that is a point of contention, because what it's doing, it's eliminating RSTs, the regional sports RSNs. I'm sorry, the regional sports networks. So it's no longer only the major markets are having huge success with their own media. You get what I'm saying? And their own. So it's just all of these things are happening. They're trying to fight against that. And I mean, it's not easy to sell your team. So once this change was made, this is new. This is not, this hasn't been going on for so many years. When it changed, James Dolan was the first. He was very public about it. And so, because of this, think about it. When this change happened, that's basically when Mark Cuban sold his team. Your profits do not become your own, and not every team is going to benefit from that. So New York Knicks didn't benefit from that. And they got money taken from them by the NBA that they can't explain. So James Dolan wants to know, why does Adam Silver have an additional $8 billion? Where did that money go? And what is it for? It's been an unexplained tax, essentially.
No, I don't know.
Adam Silver is basically like a mafia boss.
I mean, that's not possible because he's hired. I mean, I don't know. I had to do some research on it. I just thought that they always revenue shared. I mean, because what that did is even small market teams like the Hornets, even with losing seasons, they still would make something at the end of the year because they was revenue sharing. So everything got split amongst all the money that they generated and brought in got split amongst all the owners. So it didn't matter if this team won all the time, because when you really look at it, we make more money at the end of the year if these teams are winning. So owners didn't complain too much because they were still making out like a fat rat at the end of the season. right? My opinion with this new CBA and how they're taxing second apron and all this other stuff, like trying to build a contender is going to really cost you. You're going to get really taxed. Like this apron stuff is totally different than the regular stuff with going over the cap and paying a luxury tax. It's worse than that. You know what I mean? So with that happening, and then also the rising salaries of these players, like we seen what Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum just got, there's no doubt in my mind that was part of the reason why the owners decided to sell. Like, man, this ain't even the lick it used to be, right? So I might as well not be the majority owner that's paying all his taxes and sell my majority and still stay on as a minority owner with like 45%, 49%. You know what I mean? So that's what it seemed like everybody's doing. Like Jenny Buss is still kind of there. She still got minority ownership and she's still running basketball operations. But as far as the brunt of everything, person who's going to be paying all these taxes and all that stuff, I'll let some huge other group of billionaires do that. You know, I don't think, and you got to listen to Mark Cuban's interview, maybe the summer that he sold it, when he was explaining why. I don't think it was 100% true what he was saying. I think it was some other stuff that he was leaving out, but he kind of really touched on it pretty good. Oh, look, how did you?
I was trying to tell you that I was back. I'm like, no.
Listen, I was on Google. I wasn't even looking at the screen.
I was like blacked out. I'm like, I'm back.
Yeah, I was on Google.
We do have a caller, and sorry I misspoke because the revenue sharing program has been going on for a while, but the cut for the new deal that the new deal that they went into, the NBA just decided to like take all of this money out of the deal, basically away from the owners. All I know is that the owners are not happy with the new deal. It doesn't benefit them the way that they want it to. And you're right, where I think that they're upset because basically where it's headed is that it doesn't benefit them. It's a more player friendly, situation. And I don't think that it's still ever going to be enough money for the players.
Yeah.
But are you ready for the next caller?
Of course.
Hi, thank you for calling Man Down Sports and Sports Tea. Talk to us nice. Who do we have on the line?
This Big Salute.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. I hear you out on your mail.
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. So I thought it was a good game. I had jumped on the phone line after game one, just like the caller that like the Lakers, but only looking at the Pacers because they're his color. But I thought this was a great matchup from the beginning. I thought as far as they don't have the Pacers don't have the stars to roll with OKC, but they do have the depth. And they do this. They do the win by 1,000 cut. You never know where it's coming from. Mel, you remember you hung up on me last time because I was harassing you?
Nah, what?
I was the one
I hung up on you.
You said you're gonna stop disrespecting me, and I said I sent you a message saying I'm gonna file an EEO complaint on Mel. Cut me off.
My bad, bro.
You said you gonna stop calling my. No, I was messing with you, but it was fun though.
My bad, man. I don't know. I probably was sleepy that day.
You were right though. But no, I think if put it like this, there's nowhere Carlisle will let TJ McConnell do his team like that. And I just feel that if we're all the way to game 7, we're wondering what he's gonna do with TJ McConnell. I have to agree with Dom. Good Lord, they're getting out coached. There's no way you're gonna tell me that Carlisle, if he was to say, okay, game 7, I'm gonna coach OKC. I think OKC would blow the doors off the Pacers.
What if they blow the doors off of them with Dak now as the coach?
I don't know what he's doing. I really don't. I can't tell they got 2 7-footers on the floor.
I wouldn't put it on him. I would put it on the players. And when you put it on the players, the blame always starts at the top. So you got to go with SGA first. SGA didn't have his guys ready and motivated to play, and when they came out lethargic and lackadaisical, he couldn't rev them up. So this blame goes on SGA. I don't think the coach is getting out coached. I do think Rick Carlisle is a better coach. Dagnall is an up and coming young coach. That's great. But being out coached, I don't think it's significant enough to really point out. Because if that was the case, then I mean, what happened to the 3 wins that OKC got? Was Carlisle out coached then, or was that just supposed to happen because they were the better team? I don't know.
Who you say had a better team?
I think OKC got a better team.
Yeah. You think they got a better team? How do you think they lost game 1? Was that also the players played like the games towards the end and kind of let that one go as well?
I put that on SGA. They had a lead. They controlled everything that they were supposed to do. Got executed properly. They had them down by 15.
Well, they had 19. What was it? 18 or 19 turnovers in the first half.
What? Well, we talking about game 1. You said what happened in game 1.
Yeah.
I'm putting it right. And they got those turnovers. That's part of the game plan of the coach.
Right.
They came out. Right. They punched first, and then they always have been doing. They took their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter and let them come back and steal a game. Right. I'm putting that on SGA. I'm not putting that on the coach. Yeah. I mean, one of the greatest coaches we ever seen, Phil Jackson, what he done with his team as far as preparation in film study and in practice was sufficient enough that when they was getting beat or the other team was on runs, Phil Jackson would sit down and fold his arms and not call a timeout. Right. Exactly. That's when your leader on the floor is supposed to go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to get a bucket. I'm going to get a stop. I'm going to do something to make sure we stop this run and make sure we stop the bleeding. Right. So I don't put a lot of that on the coach. And the coach's job is to get you prepared. If you go out there with no energy, that's not his fault. Unless he's only playing 6 players and you ain't got no legs in the fourth quarter like Coach Tibbs, then that's his fault. But a team come out there with a great game plan and get a 15-point lead and just blow it, I'm not putting it on the coach. I don't think he's getting out coached. Put all the blame on SGA and then put a period in the sentence. It's SGA's fault. Yeah. So
yeah, we can agree to disagree on that. But as far as I thought Carlisle in the first game came out with a great plan. As far as, of course, they slowed down the ball.
He didn't have a great plan. They got whooped. OKC let them come back. He didn't have a great plan. They got whooped. They wasn't ready for that defensive pressure, sir.
I'm talking about Rick Carlisle.
They wasn't ready for that defensive pressure. He didn't have a great game plan.
His adjustments in the second half weren't great for him to come back and only get 5. They only got 5, or they only got 3 in the second half of that game.
No, OKC took the pressure off of him.
Okay, I can agree to disagree, but I mean, at some point, the other team got to get some type of credit for what they do. It can't always be OKC let them off the hook.
I'm just talking about game 1. I'm not talking about today. Today was all Indiana.
I think, I think that I think that Mel has given the Indiana Pacers credit. I don't think he's just saying, hey, this is just accidental basketball that helped them win today. I think he said that OKC lost the game for themselves. They have no one to blame but themselves. And, Pacers played better basketball this game.
Right.
They took better care of the ball. I'm just saying, I don't think Mel gave them no credit. He talked about what the Pacers did well, which they shot the ball better. They took care of the ball better. I mean, those are things that typically lead to winning ball games. So, but I mean, he did. And you're right. I agree with you, Don. But he did state some facts. I mean, the fact is that they just didn't want to lose on their home court. They didn't want to lose the title on their home court. They know in their heart, OKC is the better team when it comes down to being down the stretch, etc. So, that's what he said, but that could also be a psych out. Like, make the other team think that they're going to just come out in game 7 and lay down. And I don't think they're going to lay down in game 7. I think Carlisle is going to push. I don't think they made it this far to make it this far. That's what I really believe. And I don't think that SGA and OKC have made it this far to make it this far either. But it's just kind of like there's only going to be one winner. And I think that there's a lot working against the Oklahoma City Thunder. There's just a lot working against them. So I'm curious to see who's going to take it. But, you know, I'm with you that I think it's going to be the Pacers. So I just want to thank you for calling in tonight. Mel, did you want to say anything else?
No.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that's it?
Oh, well, we were going to jump. We're going to read some super chats and
too easy. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, y'all have a good one. Love the show.
Thank you for calling.
Oh, too easy anytime.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Some people just be wanting to argue.
I don't think he wanted to argue, Mel. I thought he was quite lovely. But maybe my defenses are low. I don't know. I worked like it feels like a million hours today, but
this is a good comment on screen though. I mean, they did get caught up in a little bit of too much one-on-one ISO ball. You know, I mean, but you're supposed to snap out of that after a quarter. Like, okay, that ain't working. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Saw that they had, so when you take a look at the last game, the game before that, they had zero answer for SGA or Jalen Williams. You know,
and that, but that set them up for failure though, because they thought that was going to it's almost like if I beat you doing the same thing one fight, and then I was like, I ain't gonna make no adjustments. I'm gonna fight this person the same exact way tomorrow, but you ready for it. Like, how do you think the same thing that you beat them with last game is gonna be the same thing you gonna beat with them with this game? Every game takes on a life on its own.
Only because they were able to do it 2 games in a row. So when you see that something happens as a pattern, then you think that they literally don't have an answer, that they can adjust to it. And
but you got 4 quarters to make an adjustment though.
I'm not talking about 4 quarters though. I'm talking about back-to-back games. So they had no answer in back-to-back games for both of these 2 players, and they literally had no answer. And not just the 2 players, but they had no answer for like that 2 to 3 that they were doing. And it was just, when you see 2 games in a row, that's what we saw happen to the Knicks and the Celtics. The Celtics never adjusted. They never adjusted. They never changed their game plan. They stood 10 toes down, nails in the ground on their strategy. And so
you got to be a little bit more.
Thibodeau,
you got to be a little bit more reactive than that.
But that's how Thibodeau lost to the Pacers. He didn't adjust. I think he adjusted for 1 game. He decided to go into the bench. Wasn't enough, right? When you're already down 3-1, you can't then decide to go into your bench. So when so a lot of coaches, they stand, and that's what causes coaches to get fired. You know, and I hate to bring this up, but like Thibodeau got fired for not just his lack of adjustments in game, but his unwillingness to receive feedback and be open and flexible to change. You know?
Yeah, but he's a finished product. He's not growing. He's not a young coach that's still getting watered. Like he is what he is, and this thing that lost him this series against Indiana was something that's been part of his repertoire for 10 plus years. I'm not going into my bench.
You just have to make a change. Like, you can say that what he does is winning basketball, but he hasn't won yet. So until you win, you can't decide, hey, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do this. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine, Mel, you know, the bottom person, the last person, or even somebody that just, you know, hasn't seen success telling you how to win, and you're a winner. That doesn't work.
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. Hey, are we still taking calls or no?
I was hoping to move on and go to
Super. Yeah, we can move on. Yeah.
You know,
take these calls now.
But yeah, I feel like
super chats.
Yeah, we got a couple good ones, right?
Good to see the elite duo back.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wise.
I don't know if I like that comment. Y'all know Dominque get on my nerves every day.
That is so mean. Sheesh.
It ain't mean, man. You act like a little sister, man.
I thought I was on my best behavior today.
Nah, you've been good today. I ain't got no complaints today. Well, looks like I was right and Mel was wrong again. Oh, and hi, Dom.
Hi, Cash. Thanks for
I
this.
love it, man. Hey, look, hey, I'm wrong a lot, y'all. I'm wrong a lot, man. Don't get too excited that I'm wrong about something.
I think it's great when we're wrong about things. It allows us to come in here. We have something else to talk about.
Of course, yeah. Brian and Bronny about to be the first father and son duo to be traded as a package deal.
Greatest trade in history.
Galaxy B live debating alone. Galaxy B live debating alone.
Well, Galaxy. I think he's
the guy that was trying to bait us. I don't have a channel, and he asked me to debate. Oh man, that's too funny, man. We gotta get another. What's the word I'm looking for? You gotta get another purpose, man. Like dedicating your whole channel to trying to prove that Jordan is not the GOAT. And it's not even he's trying to prove that Jordan's not the GOAT. It's that he hates people that think Jordan is the GOAT. First of all, you only got to be a Jordan fan to think that. But anybody who thinks Jordan is the GOAT is a Jordan fan, right? So to him, his purpose in life on YouTube is to try to prove Jordan fans wrong, while I don't know, I guess trying to make them look bad on his channel. And that's what it is. So they invite you on there, and I mean it's crazy. It's insane, man. I mean, I ain't never been insulted so many times by a person that wanted me to come on his show before in my life, man. I was like,
just go on his show, Mel. Look, Galaxy is he's trying to tell us that we better get on our job. That's really all it is. Better get on your job, Mel.
Go on his show and do what though? Go on his show and do what? Dom, would you go on the show and debate that you are a woman? Like, why would I debate? Why would I debate that?
I don't know. I
got that much time in the day.
I don't know, Mel.
You can go on there though.
No, I'm just.
He said, "Voodoo Siakam calling all them spirits." I believe it. I believe it, man.
And let me say this, and I think it is really important because sports to me is just like food. I don't eat to live. I'm sorry, I don't live to eat. I eat to live. And so when I'm eating, I think in a social setting, it's something that food sometimes it can bring people together, right, Mel? Don't you think? Isn't it really great to come together with your family and your friends over a nice meal?
Of course.
And that's the same way that sports is supposed to be to me. You know,
you ever debated with somebody and y'all disagreed, but it was still funny and fun?
Yes and no, because I think yes. Let me go ahead and say yes. I think that today it's so hard to have a debate that's positive. You know, it feels almost that debating is not fun. So like I like to call it a discussion. That's why I say yes and no. Because I think like it's okay to disagree with someone's sports take. It's okay to say like why you disagree with it, but I don't think that person has to be stupid. I don't think that like, you know, we have to call someone a name or say what they're saying is stupid or it doesn't make sense because obviously it makes sense to them, right? And when someone's explaining something, you know, I think that it's okay to give them respect. You know, and still say what you think, like, hey, I disagree with this because of whatever, but it doesn't need to be an insult to that person. Those things to me divide and push people away from each other. And I just think that, you know, it's good to have sports discussions and conversations. And I think that that's what you and I think that that's what we do on the panel. And sometimes when we get callers that want to attack us personally, that's when it becomes to me, that's not even a debate sphere. It's just like, disrespect, it's division, it's polarization, it's things that just they're not conducive to us even coming from a place of being open. You know, I'm instantly closed when you're, you know what I mean?
No, and not like that. And you know, it is a discussion. You know, it's not really a debate. Some people debate for sport. You get what I'm saying? Like they like the sport of debate. They like the, oh man, I'm a take notes and I got this stuff. They can't refute this, and it's like a trick bag. And when you're debating for sport, you're really trying to win an argument, and you're really not trying to get down to a truth, if there is a truth to be getting, you know, or to be gotten from it, right? So I mean, some of this stuff there is a truth to it, but some of it is not. No, the truth is just all opinion. And when you understand that, you can understand that someone's got a different opinion. I like to hear why you got that opinion, and I might I disagree. This is why I got an opposite opinion, and then we can walk away from that, and it can be fun. Or if it's someone that you really know, like I had one of my childhood friends was in town, and he was on the show night before last, having a LeBron and Jordan conversation. He's a LeBron guy. Man, we laughed the entire time we disagreed. Right. And that's what I meant. That's why I asked you that. Have you ever had a disagreement or a discussion about something in sports with someone, and it was just fun and funny the whole time? Like me and him disagree on a whole bunch of stuff, and we just laugh. You know, we just laugh about it. It's funny. That's fun. No one wants to prepare for an argument. Who does that?
But like, that's where, like, for some reason, I equate that word debate to argument, because that's what it feels like today.
Who wants to plan that? Who wants to plan an argument? Nobody. I never want to argue.
Your body is heightened. You know, like I feel like my whole energy changes, right? And so it's just like, I don't know. I come in here, you know, nightly, weekly, whatever it is, and we talk to everybody because we love it, you know, and we love the sport, and we love to just share, you know, and and connect. To me, it's about connection and really just connecting with other people about sports. And when we're all here to talk about the same thing and it's positive, it feels good. We don't have to agree, though. So I don't think you and I are ever looking for every single person to agree with us, but we just want to have a discussion about sports, and you can say what you think and I can say what I think, and it doesn't matter if we agree or not. But it's interesting to hear different perspectives and to hear the opinions of others in a respectful manner. It doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, Mel, you're so stupid because you think that SGA is the best, you know, in the league this year. You think that he's going to be the face of the league, or whatever it is, you know. But it always, for some reason, it's just like, it gets to be so negative sometimes. And, you know, I'm not here to complain, right? Because when you say things, you open yourself up to criticism or whatever the case may be. But I just think that sports is supposed to bring people together. To me, that's the goal for Sports Tea. I know that that's what Man Down Sports intends to do. I mean, it brought us together, right? Like, we didn't know each other. So when we're just, you know, coming together to connect, and it's for a good purpose and a good intention, I think that's what makes, you know, YouTube content surrounding sports really good.
Yeah. So in short, Universe Galaxy, I mean, I thought we got rid of you, but you're back looking for more debates. I'm not going to debate you, dog. So just not, man. I'm not going to debate you, man. And then it'd be cruel for me to do that anyway, man. So
we have one caller that I think that we should answer for. Are you okay with that, Mel?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for calling Sports Tea and Man Down Sports. Talk to us nice.
I can barely hear you. Is that you there?
Is it you, Rod? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you good enough. I just want to clarify what Dolan's gripe was, and that was over a year ago.
We're here.
The new deal that they all agreed upon, the league was going to get a increase for their budget. Where the previous deal they got 0.5% of the TV revenue, and this new deal that they disagreed to, they get 8%. So he said that money, they don't need that money. It's siphoning money off. And what his complaint was that the streaming services now get to broadcast up to 50% of local games, and they don't get, and then all the playoff games, including the first and second round, are on the streaming services. So you cannot get revenue from local deals for those services. So that's cutting into their amount they get from the local streaming deals. And the last thing was that the national sponsorship. So is how, like, you can name your arena, or there's local arena sponsorships.
painted on the inside. There's going to be space for national or other sponsorships, meaning that the league was taking over real estate inside the stadium so that they can get local sponsors, and some of them had national sponsors, would be cut into their deal.
Thank you.
And they've all agreed to it. So I don't know if I guess he lost out on it. So this is how it's going to be going forward. I don't know if it goes to the point of naming the arena, like, whatever the arena is, but I mean, I'm a Spurs fan, and we got this guy. We got a bunch of ambulance chasing lawyers. This is one guy, hilarious. He calls himself, I don't know what his name is. He has the thing 444-444, and his tagline: "Have you been hit by a truck? Call 444-4444." But he pays money to be on the stadium in San Antonio, and somehow that's going to cut into their revenues, and that was his gripe. First of all, the big one was 8% from 5.5%. which came out to almost $1 billion over 10 years that they're going to use for their budget. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Rod,
Thanks for that.
cleaning that up, because this was old, and so I thank you. I said a lot of things wrong, but that was basically the main point. It really takes away from all of the, the ability really of the owners to have ownership of their business and run it the way that they want in ways. So thank you for that, Rod. But Mel, this was so much fun tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at these comments more than I usually do.
Yeah, one of the comments I really don't like.
Yeah, it was a little disrespectful for sure.
I would appreciate.
I already know which one you're talking about.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Friday. So we'll be on the full panel tomorrow. A lot of good topics we're gonna have tomorrow. That should be good. I think we'll have a real full panel tomorrow for sure. I think we might have 5 or 6. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that one.
Me too. Friday is gonna be great. So
yeah, I'm probably gonna cook you on something as usual, man. Just bring your grill, hibachi.
I'm just ready to, I'm just grateful to be back with the panel. So I'm gonna be, my normal self.
Yeah, we got a couple of more super chats that came in on Sports T's channel. The Drew Show. You want to read that one?
The Drew Show. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Bottom line, a lot of so-called experts on national media got this wrong. OKC 4-0 in 5 and 6. Now it's one and done, like Charlie Murphy says. Wrong. All love. Thank you, Big Salute, for the $5 super chat. All love. I didn't want to argue, but I also can't capitulate with something that I don't agree with. Thank you, Dom, for being my voice of reason. Anytime. Woofio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Christ, players like Bronny going to be making $50 million to ride the bench. I mean, and I guess, nepotism.
Listen, it's some people on OnlyFans making $50 million a year. So I mean, I rather Bronny get $50 million to help the Lakers make $1 billion a year, versus OnlyFans person on there showing their feet and getting $50 million a year.
The only thing is, I think for me is that, the OnlyFans is still more earned than what Bronny is doing. So I'm just being honest. Like yes, it is. You got to go on there. You have to get people to follow your feed. You have to get people to follow that.
But look, but at least Bronny James is helping produce money for the Lakers. Otherwise, they wouldn't deal with it. Like they're selling his jersey left and right. So he's bringing some of that money in that he's asking for.
They could make that money they'd make elsewhere. This is not the Lakers. Ronnie, it wasn't about, okay, you're helping us to make money. That wasn't the reason.
Well, but if you can say my whatever I'm doing, production, presence, whatever the case may be, if I can link that to an amount of money that you're generating,
no, Mel,
that wouldn't be there if I wasn't there.
No, Mel, no. You've said it before. If Kai Cenat was on the Lakers, the same amount of jerseys would be sold.
Correct. But it's not Kai Cenat, it's Bronny.
Yes, but that's why we don't put That's why sports, Mel, we put people that can actually play the sport. Like we put
No, I'm not.
Like
you know, Dominic, you know I'm not debating whether Bronny James should be on the team. I'm not saying that. This is a whole totally different conversation.
That's my point, is that if they were money motivated, or if that was like, I don't believe that somebody said, you know what, we've got to make this work. We're going to have Bronny on the team, so we have to show how this is going to be a great business case.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, if you juxtapose OnlyFans foot model making let's say, what is Bronny making, $3 million a year, $4 million a year?
The foot model deserves to be there more. That's all I'm telling you.
Well, let me say this. So you got a foot model making $3 million a year, Bronny James making $3 million a year. With Bronny James, what I'm saying is, I'd rather see someone that actually is selling $5 million worth of jerseys in a Lakers jersey, making $3 million of that by being on the roster, versus someone selling feet pics and making $3 million. Like I respect the guy that's actually generating $5 million a year and the team is paying him $3 million. I respect that.
The person that's selling feet pics is generating so much more money to OnlyFans than what Bronny is generating to the Lakers. That's my point that I'm trying to tell you. I'm saying that the OnlyFans,
it's a hypothetical, Dom. I'm in this hypothetical, they're making the same amount of money.
Talking about
the Lakers are paying Bronny James based on the jersey sales that his name, image, and likeness is selling, and the OnlyFans model is getting paid by simps that are paying her the money. So what are the simps getting? Feet pics. What are the Lakers getting? $5 million worth of jersey sales.
Bronny's getting jersey sales from people, and the feet pic person is getting the people that want to look at her feet.
Listen what I'm saying. The people that are paying Bronny is getting something. The people that are paying the feet model are getting nothing but feet pics.
I'm sorry, the people that are paying Bronny are getting something?
Yes, they're selling his jersey, name, image, likeness.
Selling her feet.
No, right, but the people that are paying for her feet aren't getting anything worth a damn. They're not getting money.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm fine with us sitting here and literally comparing Bronny James and the Lakers with his employment to sex work. Totally fine with that. But let's just make it simple. And
It is simple.
It's real simple. Let Bronny James go and join OnlyFans. Let's just end the live right here. Bronny to OnlyFans.
However you want to slice it. All I'm saying is the Lakers, it's an even trade. The Lakers are getting something, and Bronny is getting paid for what he's able to get for the Lakers. I just
want to make the trade right now. Bronny to OnlyFans. Are you ready?
I mean, all he got to do is play his games on OnlyFans, and he'll make the same amount of money he was as a gamer.
Let's go. I'm done with this. I'm going to bed.
All right, y'all. Don't forget this super chat. On another note, please tell LeBron the others should nominate you to the roles like president or representative, not the GOAT. Okay. And it was another one, I think. How long?
I wouldn't want to see LeBron as president or representative. Would you want LeBron representing you? All he's going to do is be all up in the video.
We'll see when he retires. We'll see if he fake the black or if he's everywhere.
All up in the video.
LeBron would double his net worth if he had an OnlyFans. Shannon and Nick would be dumping the whole checks into that. Sheesh.
Listen, he's going to get that call from Diddy in jail talking about, you better get on your job. That's really what it is.
Just keep rings count LeBron, just like when the Cavs ring made him self-identify as the GOAT. Big salute, man.
Big salute coming through.
That's everything. What should Luke mean? Is that a name?
I don't know. That name, every time I see it, reminds me of this guy I knew that used to go by Shalon the Don.
Shalon. That sounds exotic.
Yeah, every time I would see the name, I was just like looking for like a Jerry curl or like some kind of like permed do.
What, a Jamaican tank top?
Like a show enough. That's who I always imagine every time I see it.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta tell you something funny after we end. But I'm ready. I'm done.
Alrighty. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to both Man Down Sports and Sports Tea, share the video, share it out to your social media, share it with your friends and family. Can we blow up these communities for real? I know you guys like
I
us.
know, right?
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, guys. Like. And don't forget, you get on your job.
All right, y'all.